Hello folks. I've been making videos since 2006 on YouTube and Vimeo, and many of my early ones were about the Airhawk Storm Launcher. Well, it was one of my favorite aircraft that I could actually fly in the snow, on water, or on land. Well, I experimented with adding wings, rudders, rockets, and even made a giant-sized one. But all of them had a unique problem. They all pulled to the right all the time, even with the trim set. Also, since they're using differential motor control to make turns, that under full throttle there was no way to make turns as good because the motor couldn't go any faster. That's because it was already wide open. I found the best way to fly it was just not use full throttle, but to slow down a bit before I started making any turns. Well, I've always been looking for something similar, especially now that snow's coming, but I didn't find any that really worked very well, until now. But what could go wrong? Well, keep watching, and I'm going to show you. We storm launcher lovers really could recognize this sound. Well, I found a similar looking flying machine from DRC, or Dirk. This is the same company that makes my Flying Eagle. My Eagle uses differential motor steering as well, and it flies fantastic, so I expect this to do as well. It's waterproof, so I intend to take it down to the pond and fly it to see how well it works on the water, and when snow flies, we're going to do that too. I have some advice though after you see what happened. Here's the unboxing first. Sit back and enjoy. Alright, let's see if this thing will take off by itself on the grass. That's going to be the trick. Oh, it does. Oh, look at that. I gotta say, this thing really has a lot of power. I'm amazed at how far I got up there out of sight already almost. We're here to bring it back down. I just bring the throttles all the way back and the gyros are keeping it level and it just drops right down. But pretty amazing. This thing flies good. I love it. All right, we got to go find out if this thing's going to work. Off of the water now. Well, tip number one is not to shut your motors off when you're taking off. And also, you really don't need much power. So I thought I would go down to the Sandpit Pond and see how it flies off the water. It's not exactly water. Well, I was bummed to see ice, but it was calm, so this part is fine. It's the next part you don't want to miss, which is not so good. Ooh. What? And probably not good to fly over thin ice either. Huh. Well, I flew many a storm launcher around down here over the years, and I gotta tell you, it's like old home week. I love it. Well, I had so much fun, I decided to take it down to the pit again and fly it when I was going to try out my ice sliding machine. Well, it was a lot more windier today, and like I said before, this thing has really good power, and wide open will climb a lot higher and in a hurry than you would expect, causing a panic shutoff, which you're going to see me do as you get to what you wouldn't expect later in this video. By the way, don't do that. But this thing has a gyro setup to keep it level, and it really is definitely something the old storm launchers would have benefited from, and especially with something as light as this. Here we go. Oh no! You know, I can't really walk on this ice because it's too thin right now. And what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What would you do?
That wasn't good.
Oh, I got an idea what to do. Plan B. Well, if this had happened on top of water, I would be able to go back with it because they say it will run upside down in water and slowly come back to you. Well, they didn't say anything about hard water. You know, I'd already made my video on this four-wheeled transformer car, which you probably saw, and saw that I ran it wide open a lot. So I was worried about having the battery run dead out there as well. Then what? And those that know me know I was taught to never ever give up in the Marine Corps, and I'm not going to give up until I get this thing back. I mean, man, it's so slippery. Come on. Oh, great. Look at that. The wind is blowing it away now. But that wind actually looks like it helped because it put it in the right position for me.
Rescued.
Well, the point of this, or the moral of this, or the message you might want to get out of this is don't walk on thin ice and always have a plan B. Well, now that I know that I don't need to give it a lot of power to fly in the wind, I'm going to go out and try and fly it in the wind and the ground. See if I learned anything. This is the same day and still windy. And as you can see, I did the exact same thing that I did on the ice, landing upside down on a failed takeoff. So what I found was not to use full power or any elevator. This thing goes up amazingly fast, so in the wind, in the second takeoff, you can see I just used very little throttle and was able to take off. And yes, easy to hover. Well, like I said in the beginning, the differential motor controls are really figured out, and I've got lots of good control. Even when shutting the motors down, throttle all the way down, the motors still work for steering. But flying something this light in this wind is still pretty dicey. And it's indestructible, EPP. It's like throwing a Kleenex against a brick wall. You know, I love flying in wind and stuff, doing crazy stuff like this. You know, it's fun, it's challenging. Everything else is boring. But I love it, and I don't need a carload of equipment to fly this. And that for sure is a plus. So thanks for watching. Be safe, and happy holidays to you. This is Dave Herbert, the Night Flyer, signing off till the next time.